Today we are chatting about editing and growing as a writer. I have been learning so much. So I wanted to share what I've learned with you guys. First, I've been writing specifically for the Heroes of the Tuduma Forest series for 2 years now. It's pretty exciting to see the series blossom and grow, and the characters deepen and grow. It's been absolutely an amazing ride. So I wanted to tell you about it. My characters were very flat, very they didn't have a whole lot of life in them when I first wrote the very first draft of the Heroes of the Tuduma Forest. And I have to say, like, looking back on the draft that nobody saw, it was so boring. Like, I thought it was such a neat story and oh, isn't this great? But really, it was very flat. The action wasn't really there. There was a little bit of action, but all of the characters sounded the same. They didn't have any differences in the way they presented the words, the dialogue, the internal dialogue. It was all the same. They might have looked differently, and that's what's so funny is I had the illustrations first, so I could see the differences, but it didn't translate into my writing, and it was very flat. Moving on to, the second and third and fourth drafts of the first book, the action was there, world building I think was there, but the characters still remained pretty flat. Now into the Heroes of the Tuduma Forest 2, I'm really working on focusing on making sure that every character's voice is different, unique. One of them, is a warrior, so she needs to have that tough dialogue, that tough exterior, right? So it should show in her dialogue. And the other characters I've made completely different. I've really studied them, and it is funny because authors laugh a lot about how they have to get to know their characters. Of course, we're inventing them, but it is funny how we can sit and we can imagine these people, real people, even though they're fairies, we imagine them as real people, and we say, okay, what is Emma like? How does she hold herself? How does she communicate with the different fairies? So it's been really, really fun. I would say that's the biggest thing that I've learned lately. But yeah, I've realized that if I'm starting to hear like monotony in my writing, I go, okay, stop. There's something going on that I need to change up. So it's like, okay, if I'm writing the prose and I'm hearing almost like this where it's the sentences are the same length and there's a feel of monotony, and so I stop myself and I say, why do I feel like that? And a lot of times it's just, I need to throw in some dialogue, or I need to change up the length of the sentences. So it's like, you know, a 5-word sentence, a 5-word sentence, a 5-word sentence. Oh yeah, I'm feeling like I'm bored. So take out that 5-word sentence, or even chop it up into 2 smaller sentences. You can do that, or you can put in some dialogue, or even I've noticed that if I'm doing this, I throw in like a world building sentence. It like livens everything up. And it's not just because world building is something that I love it, it's true, but it just kind of breaks stuff up. Okay, you know, there's action, 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 action. Well, you know, it might kind of jar people. It's just too much. So having somebody stop and pause for a minute and you know, look off to the distance, and now it has to be something important, right? Maybe help is coming, and then you can describe how the help was coming, or just, you know, like I said, throwing some dialogue in, you know, 1 word even will break that up. So I've been learning. There are a couple of things that I'm noticing that I write a lot, and I'm gonna work on that. The next edit, the next round, is repetitive words. So I've really tried to work hard on, if I'm saying certain words again, it needs to try to come from the same character. If it's coming from a different character, maybe we can mix it up and not have the same word come from her a lot. So I notice disappeared was in my book. Reappeared and disappeared was a lot. So Emma was talking about the praying mantis disappearing and reappearing. So then the other characters don't need to say that over and over again. Maybe a different, like vanish could be another word that they could use. The word as, the word while. I don't even want to know how many times I wrote that in my book, and so I'm going to have to, that's the next edit. But that's it. That's all I've got. I hope this helped. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.